What is good, Breach fans? I am Bryant Cook, and obviously we're playing Underworld Breach in Modern today. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't so sure if I wanted to upload this video. The last video that I uploaded that you can find in the card above barely passed 2,000 views, which really shocked me because the previous video hit 8,000 views. So what happened? Was it too close? Why didn't you watch them? I am genuinely interested in knowing. That said, there's a pretty good idea in the Storm Discord if you're interested in joining that. That link is in the description below from a good friend of mine, Jeremy Hines. Jeremy said, what if we played Death Shadow in the sideboard? At the time, I didn't think it was a very good idea. I thought it was sort of cute. Jeremy suggested running Thoughtseize over Inquisition to make it function. And I was like, yeah, you can do that, but what's the advantage, right? Why is this good? What do you actually gain? So I've been sitting on this for a couple weeks, just like weighing it back and forth. I figured why not record it tonight? But there was something that pushed it over the edge for me, and that card is Leyline Binding. It hits Underworld Breach for possibly a single mana, or more realistically, 2 mana at instant speed. So think of it as an instant speed prismatic ending. That's pretty scary, right? Like, just hitting Breach at instant speed, pretty scary. Well, it's also a 6 mana spell which passes through I'm sorry, I'm choking here. Inquisition of Kozilek. Unlike Thoughtseize, though, Thoughtseize actually hits the Leyline Binding, protecting your Underworld from, that enchantment. So if we're going to play Thoughtseize, I think it's at least worth playing the Shadow on the board to try it out. We have Watery Graves, and recently we added in Street Wraith into the deck to help fuel our graveyard, but also draw us cards off Otherworldly Gaze immediately. So I think it's sort of cute. Death Shadow still gets hit by Leyline Binding and Prismatic Ending and a bunch of other things, but maybe they board out some of those effects because we have Death Shadow. It's interesting to think about, and I at least want to see how it goes, so I'm going to play this today. If you've never seen this video before, or this deck before, this is probably the wrong video. But to give you a quick breakdown of how it functions, we have this land over here, Lotus Breach, that has Hexproof. Comes into play tap, stab 3 mana. Well, when you untap it with a Twiddle or Dream's Grip, it makes more mana. So each one of these is seen as a blue-dark ritual, so to speak, so you're plus 2 mana. Eventually, you play an Underworld Breach, and then you cast Tome Scour targeting yourself. This creates a pseudo loop where you can cast 2 Tome Scours and a Dream's Grip off of the 3 blue mana that Lotus Field creates. And when you do this, you escape 9 cards, but you're putting 10 to the graveyard with Tome Scour, so you're slowly accumulating extra escapes. Eventually, you can cast Wish into a lethal copy of Grapeshot. In every single video, somebody asks, Bryant, why not Thassa's Oracle? My answer, go watch one of the other videos that I answered this question in. I don't feel the need to answer it in every single one of them. If you came here looking for that question, I'm not going to answer it today. Sorry. But that's pretty much it. I went back to Leyline of Sanctity. The red-black deck is playing more discard than ever. I feel like it's something we want. I would normally try to play 4 on the board, but I wanted to find room for all 4 copies of Death Shadow today. I do think that we want 4 of these in general, but I'm interested in trying out just 3. If you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. Unless it has to do with Thassa's Oracle, keep it to yourself or watch another video. That's what I've got. Thank you for watching today. I do appreciate it. Sorry that I sort of botched this intro a few times, but I hope that you enjoyed the video itself. I'll see you in the first round. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1. We are on the play with Lotus Breach. Here we have the Tome Scour. I don't have a Lotus Field. I think I'm going to keep this though. Like, this hand seems reasonable enough to me. Okay. Watery Grave is how we're going to start here. Ouch. Thoughtseize. This deck. And that's a hand that just crushes me. Holy moly. Look at this hand. I'm never beating this. Take the Voidwalker, pass the turn. If you could pick 7 cards, I don't know if they get much better than that. There it is. Take my 2 best cards. Down goes Consider. Ooh, they didn't Undying Evil. Oh, well, they drew Fury. So they're just going to try to get me dead fast then. Okay. What did they pitch? They actually pitched the Thoughtseize. So they have Blood Crypt in hand? That could have been a lot worse for me. I can't believe they sequenced that way. Although, no, I needed to draw a real spell there. Go to 15. It's pretty unlikely that I win from here now. I don't really have a bounce spell to answer this Fury. Like, I have an Otawara in the deck, but it's just not realistic. So I'm going to take 8 here, going down to 7. They have an untapped Blood Crypt. And they drew a Kroxa? Jeez. The hits just keep on coming. So how I win this game is that I draw, like, Twiddle effect into Otawara to bounce the Fury. That's pretty much it. Alright, Otherworldly Gaze. There's the Lotus Field. Am I really supposed to mill Lotus Field here? Oh my. I have to mill the Lotus Field. Feels bad. Upkeep, flashback, Otherworldly Gaze. There's the Twiddle effect. I have to put this on top. Guess I probably want to fetch to Thin. Give myself an extra opportunity to potentially draw into the Otawara. Let them go to beginning of combat. And now I will go get a basic island. And we will tap the Fury. Upkeep, let's flashback the Otherworldly Gaze. Another Lotus Field that I need to mill. I could have taken the chance on just naturally drawing this Wish to answer the Fury. Because I do have a Void Snare in the sideboard. But I sort of just didn't do that. I would have felt really dumb if I drew one of these other 2. But now I have to mill into another Twiddle to stay alive. That is not going to get the job done. So we lost the turn 1 to Fury, and we're off to game number 2. I think I want to try boarding in the Death Shadow plan, as crazy as that seems. I imagine that they board out their hard removal, and they're just going to have a bunch of lightning bolts that then die to my Shadow. Let's get rid of this Pact Negation. I'm at 66 cards right now. I'm not allowed to board out Thoughtseize when I'm boarding in the Shadow plan. So I think here we can probably board out Baubles. Seems pretty easy. That leaves me at 62. Maybe like 1 Twiddle? Am I even allowed to do that? I don't know. I guess I am the one playing the game. Maybe like 1 Consider. Let's try this. Game number 2, we're on the play. Yeah, this seems good. Keep. We don't have Leyline in it, but this hand is just fine enough on its own. Alright, let's lose some life. Grab that Watery Grave. Yup. Thoughtseize. Necromentia. Feign Death. Voidwalker. I think we just take the Voidwalker for now. Pass the turn. Black Cleave Cliffs, okay. In our upkeep, let's cast this Otherworldly Gaze looking for land number 2. We find the land and an Underworld Breach. I think we want to leave both of these. Top, top. Oh no! Oh, I thought I clicked OK. Whoops. Drew the land anyway. Perfect. Pass the turn. I thought I clicked OK on that. That was awkward. I guess the upside here is that it's a basic island for that Magus of the Moon. Play Consider. We can mill that. Steam Vents. Take a draw. Beautiful. Yes, I'd like to pay 2 life. Let's flash back the Otherworldly Gaze. Not sure if I want the Twiddle effect or not. I think I'm going to keep it. Let's cycle the Street Wraith. That's Shadow. We have a small 2/2 on the table. They activate the Prismatic Vista. Dothy Voidwalker. Sure thing. Okay, how do I want to do this? Guess we probably just play the Claw here. Back with the Shadow, they can't block it. So it's Death Shadow versus a creature with Shadow. Shadow creatures cannot block non-Shadow creatures. In their upkeep, we're going to tap their Blackleaf Cliffs. Yes, I would like to tap your land. They're going to attack me, making my Death Shadow grow in size. Bold choice. Draw for turn. Another Death Shadow. That's perfect. Let's play it. Get in there. Hiya! This feels so good. Okay. In their upkeep, let's tap their land again. See, we're a control deck. They have 8 cards in hand. And they concede. Death Shadow beat down too strong! Way to go, Jeremy. Your plan was perfect. Now we're heading to game number 3 versus this Necromentia black-red deck with Magus of the Moon. I did not board in answers for Magus. That's something we should probably do. So let's bring in Echoing Truth and Void Snare. You could also board in Grapeshot. That's another thing you could do here. I think we just need to cut Consider. Let's cut Consider entirely and just board in the other Twiddle. I don't usually like boarding out 8 cantrips in my combo deck because it sort of messes with our consistency. That said, this is a matchup where we don't really have that luxury. This is a weird one. So we have double Thoughtseize plus, like if this island was a fetch land, I think that this is a snap keep. Here it's a little awkward. I'm going to mulligan. And this seems better to me. What do we put on the bottom though? Keep. I'm going to guess the Echoing Truth and then probably just lose this game to a Magus of the Moon will be fine. Blood Crypt tapped. That's right. Nice turn one Thoughtseize you didn't get to play. Here I am talking crap and I drew my own ley line. What I get? Cycle. Misty Rainforest. We'll play a fetch land and pass the turn. Land number 2. Dothy. Yep. Alright, we're going to fetch. Let's grab the vents. Sure thing, Dothy Voidwalker. Ouch. Yes. Thoughtseize. They had double Thoughtseize, wow. If they draw land number 3 for the Lily, it's going to hurt. Part of me wonders if I'm supposed to take this Torok to buy time. I'm going to just take the Liliana. I don't think I can win this game if they draw land 3. And they did. Here's Torok. So I'm going to follow the 10 life. I'm not in a good spot here. Let's go to 8, cycle. And their Torok gets larger. Awkward. Even if I draw Death Shadow, I don't know if this is good enough anymore. Clearly, I'm supposed to have hard removal for this Dothy Voidwalker. So I'm going to go to 2 here. And I don't think that I can reasonably win this game anymore. I just don't have the resources. Fetch to 1 life. Grab the Watery Grave, I guess. It just doesn't matter. Otherworldly Gaze. Echoing Truth is way too slow. I also don't have a Lotus Field. There's no one draw that gets me out of this. Even if I draw Death Shadow, I guess I could tap. Alright, I have to try to draw into Shadow, I guess. Draw. Damn. Okay, they got me. Even when I opened up on the ley line, their draw was too powerful. My deck can't beat a Dothy Voidwalker. Sad. We still won a game with Death Shadow, which is pretty sweet. Let's see if we can do some more of that. We're 0-1, 4 matches left. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Let's try that again. Match number 2 on the play. Yeah, this hand seems great. Keep. Okay, fetch. Ouch. Thoughtseize. Alright, so they're just on Izzet. They do have another counter spell. I think I'm just going to take a draw here to see if I hit the second land. I do not. Let's cycle a Street Wraith. Okay. I have to cast this Otherworldly Gaze now. I did, in fact, find more lands. Mill the Twiddle. We're going to click OK this time. Actually click it, and then put both lands on top. Cycle. And I think I might want to draw land number 3 next turn. I'm going to decide on their turn. They fetch up a Steam Vents. Island, so they drew a land. I think I do want the 3rd land. I'll draw it. Pass the turn. Fiery Islet, we knew that they had that. Into Ragavan, still holding open counterspell. Fetch. Grab the island. I'm going to grab another island here just so I don't have to lose 2 life to a shock land. Flashback this Otherworldly Gaze. None of these found what I was looking for, so we're just going to bin them. Consider. I'm going to keep this Twiddle. I know that it's not a Lotus Field, but I'm going to need 1 to go off at some point. Might as well keep that one. Alright, let's eat up their counterspell, I guess. You got it. So they have Expressive Iteration, Unholy Heat, and then 2 unknowns. They can play a Spirebluff Canal this turn. Let's play this Otherworldly Gaze. We'll put a Street Wraith back on top. That gets exiled to the Ragavan. And I'm at 7. They play the canal and they have a treasure open. Ledger Shredder. So if I draw a Lotus Field here, I believe it's just a clean win. I did not. Consider. I would like to keep that. Blue, blue. Play the Lotus Field. Let's untap that Lotus Field. They get their Shredder trigger. Ragavan down. What? Oh my. Pass the turn. Apparently I chose the wrong mode on Dream's Grip. I was so used to tapping in that previous game. Just lightning bolt me out, put me out of my misery. I find a bauble. Discards Murktide Regent. Yeah. They found the lightning bolt, so I'm dead. Okay. That should have been a win. That's heartbreaking. Wow. Okay, we'll bring in the packs, and then we want the bounce spells for Blood Moons. So that's 65. Generally, in these sort of fast matchups, I like taking out Consider. And then we're 1 over. You can leave a pact in the sideboard for Wish, or you can leave a bounce spell in the sideboard. I generally like leaving a pact. We'll submit this. Now I essentially need to 3-0 this match because I just punted so badly. I haven't played this deck since my previous video, so that was a month and a half ago, so I am a little bit rusty. I can't afford to keep this. Now I'm just being punished. Misplay, get punished. I mean, this would have been a really good 7. Fetch. Ouch. Tap. Otherworldly Gaze. Actually pretty good. I mean, the reason that I'm milling, like, in theory, Lotus Field plus Wish plus 2 Twiddles with 10 great cards in graveyard is a deterministic win. The problem is I don't have the resources, and I have to fetch in order to play Wishclaw on turn 2. So there's no point in me not putting those cards in the graveyard. All right, we'll grab an island, play the Wishclaw Talisman. So if for some reason our opponent completely tapped out and I drew an Underworld Breach, we could probably try to go for it. They hit the 1 of Tome Scour. You got to be kidding me. That's actually terrible. That hurt a lot. I guess we have to wish for Scour now. Let's flash back this Otherworldly Gaze. We find another copy of Lotus Field. Let's mill the Dream's Grip. And then put Breach Lotus Field. All right. Pass the turn. I'm at 12. And they have Blood Moon. We're in a rough spot. Pass the turn. I would have been better off waiting a turn to play the Lotus Field if that was the case. Draw. Yeah, I'm just being punished. Ah, geez. I threw that first match, or that first game. Not the best outing tonight. Okay, I'm going to pick it up. We are 0-2. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, looking to bounce back. That last round was really brutal. Sorry for the poor play. I mean, really, it's been the last few videos. I don't know. I've been making a lot of play mistakes this week. I don't have any excuse other than I need to be better. So that's what we're looking to do here. Okay, let's start off by bobbling ourselves. See if I want that top card or not. Wish. Wish is not a card I need, so I'm not going to draw into that using the Street Wraith. Ouch. Thoughtseize. They're playing the See the Truth Founding the Third Path deck? Okay. I guess that's something you're allowed to do. Guess we'll take Founding the Third Path. I think that card kind of stinks, though, if I'm being completely honest. I've played that card a number of times, and I've just been really underwhelmed by it. We get a random draw, we draw a second Breach. Island. They drew another Founding the Third Path, the Thoughtseize bug in action. You Thoughtseize a card when they immediately draw it. It's just how Magic Online was intended. See, the Truth is back. Draw for turn. Another Dream's Grip. Cycle Street Wraith. Another Twiddle. I think we just pass here. They target themselves with Founding the Third Path. Prismatic Ending. Okay. Manamorphose. Faithless Salvaging. Okay. They discard Lightning Bolt. We're going to fetch with this Misty Rainforest. Probably grab the red source here. Untap, take a draw. Bobble. Let's target ourselves, see if there's anything good here. I don't really want another Thoughtseize. I'm just trying to draw into my own win. So we're going to get rid of that. There is a nice trick I can pull here. And that's, I can twiddle their land in their upkeep. And then they won't be able to realistically use the third chapter on the See the Truth, which is what they're trying to do here. Interesting that they're casting Manamorphose. Because now the See the Truth can't, or now that the Founding of the Third Path can't cast See the Truth. Okay. You may rebound all you want. Tome Scour themselves. Now they have the Faithless Salvaging. Discards Gut Shot. I take a hit from Lightning Bolt. They go to their main phase, and then the Founding of the Third Path will trigger. And now they target the Gut Shot. Sure thing. They play the Demolich. I don't know how to say words, but that's what they're doing. Alright, I'm at 7. I mean, I could consider bouncing this, but I can also just tap it to buy time. Draw for turn. Consider. Let's try drawing into that Lotus Field. Speaking of the devil. Add a blue. Let's see if I can correctly untap Lotus Field this time. Yes. Blue, red. Underworld Breach. Untap the Lotus Field. I can't believe I punted that. I'm still mad at myself. I'm sure you can't tell because I've been so silent about it, but yeah. Consider. That does it. Yeah, we found the Tome Scour the hard way. At this point, we just have to go through. Tome Scour again. Generate that storm. There's Wish. Wonder if we can just win. Okay, that's Storm 11. Tap for red, play the Wish. From 12. Grapeshot's in the sideboard still. Yeah, this is an easy peasy. Yes. Tap for red. Grapeshot the opponent, and then we can escape Grapeshot a second time. Hiya. We've won a game! Not using Death Shadow, that is. I kind of want to board in Shadow here. Is that crazy? Let's do it. You can't stop me. Literally, you can't. I'm the one clicking. So, we're going to do it live. Let's get rid of Baubles. Submit. I'm not sure if I'm actually sold on the Thoughtseizes. I know that they hit Leyline Binding, but one thing I've been silently noting to myself this league so far is how quickly my life is getting very, very low. In the game against the red-black deck, I was below 10 by like turn 3. It was not great. And if I'm ever going to beat a deck like Burn or Blue-Red or Hammer Time or whatever, I can't afford to just half my life every game on my own. So I'm not sure if this Death Shadow plan is actually worth it. That said, I'm glad I got to attack for lethal with the Death Shadow. That certainly made this night worth it for me. Blossoming Calm, huh? I'm going to take this Founding. Pass the turn. We can beat Blossoming Calm. I'm not actually concerned about that garbage. Manamorphose Wear Terror. Scalding Tarn. Draw. Let's fetch the other Watery Grave out of the deck. Yes. Otherworldly Gaze. We're going to keep the Street Wraith on top. Pass the turn. They grab that Hallowed Fountain. Faithless Salvaging. Phoenix down. There's also a little bit of a Nambo with the deck that our opponent's playing. While they do have a bunch of instants and sorceries in their deck, Arclight Phoenix is not triggered by founding the third path. That's a little bit of a Nambo. They play similarly, but they don't help each other. They discard the Blossoming Calm. Okay. Firebluff Canal. Salvaging number 2. They gut shot me down to 11, and now the Phoenix will come back. And they accidentally don't attack. Perfect. I'm going to hurt myself here. I want to draw into this other Street Wraith. Otherworldly Gaze. Is that a Death Shadow? How lovely. I think I actually want all of these. Gotta stack it, though. So I think Lotus Field actually goes on the bottom, and then we put the other 2 on top. I'm at 7. Oh, I can't draw into the Wishclaw and do everything I want here, because if I do, I put myself potentially being dead. Okay. Faithless Salvaging. Discards the Steam Vents. Consider. Looks like they kept the card with Consider. They attack with the Phoenix. I'll go to 4. Let's play our own Consider here. I want to keep this. Draw. Wishclaw Talisman. Get in with the Death Shadow. Play the Lotus Field. What a wild deck. I never thought I'd see the day that I was playing Death Shadow and Lotus Field in the same deck. They have 3 cards. I'm going to tap their Arclight Phoenix with this Consider on the stack. Yes, I would like to tap the Phoenix. They play another copy of Consider. Mills over a Lightning Bolt, okay. Big fan. Twiddle to clear the way for Death Shadow is just like one of the funniest things I've ever seen in this format. Who needs Teamer Battle Rage when your deck has 8 Twiddles in it? Come on. And our opponent concedes the game. Death Shadow gets there. We actually have more Death Shadow victories in this league than we do Grapeshot victories. Keep that in mind. All right, 1 and 2, 2 matches left. you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Match number 4. We're on the draw, and here I have no lands. It's just not a keep. We're better off taking a mulligan. This hand's pretty reasonable. We'll try this. Cancel that. I think we actually want to put the Pact of Negation on the bottom. Alright, we're on the draw, which actually sort of helps here because we need to find land number 2 plus Lotus Field. Ay, ay, ay. Living End. They removed an Architects of Will. This matchup is just a nightmare for me. I hardly ever win it. They take the Thoughtseize. Surprise, surprise. Breeding Pool tapped and they pass. Well, there's our land. Let's cycle the Street Wraith, see if I can draw into a 1-drop. Nope. Play the Polluted Delta and just pass the turn. So we found land number 2, but now we have to find Lotus Field. They play Spire Bluff. We'll take our turn. Let's go search up the red source. Steam Vents. No, I will not take damage. Draw for turn. Another land. Okay. Pass. You put another Waker of Waves to the graveyard. I mean, if they have the Cascade spell here, I'm just dead. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Grab Watery Grave. Draw for turn. Now they'll cast Violent Outburst. I'm just going to pick it up. We're dead. I mean, I guess in theory I can return the Street Wraith to block. Like, I hate playing these games out because people in the comment section get very upset that I don't concede. Well, now even if I block 310, I guess I'm not dead yet. But, like, realistically, I'm just never winning this game, but people are always like, you're not dead, why did you concede? It's just so improbable. They should discard the Wishclaw here. And they do discard the Wishclaw. Play this Watery Grave. I technically stand a chance if our opponent has no way to interact with me whatsoever, and I draw exactly Lotus Field. Block a Waker of Waves. Do I draw Lotus Field off the top? Go to 1. Not a Lotus Field. Concede the game. Going to game number 2 now. In my experience, we want Leyline of Sanctity not only for grief, but also for endurance. It actually ends up being pretty great here. And then Pact of Negation to stop their Force of Negations is actually pretty huge. Board out the Mishra's Baubles. And I'd probably shave a couple copies of Consider. Let's try this out. Death Shadow is not really what we want to be doing against the deck that switches the zones of creatures. That's not really a good plan here. This is a very solid hand. Play this Scalding Tarn, pass the turn. Untap Steam Vents and they pass. Watery Grave, ouch. Let's cast this Otherworldly Gaze, looking for land number 2. We find it. And this wish also represents the Tome Scour we need. Draw for turn. I'm going to cycle this Street Wraith. I do want the Twiddle here. And pass. I guess I didn't need to cycle it immediately. I might be able to go for a win on my turn, really looking to play Otherworldly Gaze into maybe like Pact of Negation or something like that. Petty Theft's my Leyline. Can't say I'm a fan of that. Here comes the Grief. Yep. They Take Underworld Breach. Surprise, surprise. 4 cards in hand. We'll activate the Misty. Ouch. Let's flashback the Otherworldly Gaze here. And let's put these 2 on top. Cycle Street Wraith, just getting another creature in the graveyard. Wishclaw Talisman. They cycle Street Wraith. Lotus Field, sacrificing our Watery Grave and Steam Vents. Pass the turn. Okay, they have 4 in hand. We'll draw another Leyline. Consider. We'll mill the Thoughtseize. Unfortunately, this doesn't actually do a whole lot for me. I believe I'm supposed to just pass the turn. Do you have a Violent Outburst? I feel like if they did, they probably should have played it in my draw step again, but you never know. They play the Brazen Borrower. Land number 4, they're at 13. The read that I'm getting is that they have a hand with multiple pieces of protection. Cycle down to 5. Land. What can we do here? Untap Lotus Field. Tap for red. Hold control. Untap. Retap. And now we're going to get Underworld Breach and Pact of Negation. If they have 2 pieces of interaction, I'm dead. I am willing to accept that. Force pitching Architects, we will Pact of Negation the Force. They have 2 in hand. Underworld Breach. And it resolves. How about that? Okay. So now we Dream Script to untap the Lotus Field. What are you doing? Otawara's the Breach. Wow, I can't. Am I dead? I believe I am. So I can play the Breach again, but I won't have a blue mana to untap Lotus Field. So this is actually... No, I can't cast the Consider, and I can't pack the Otawara. They just have me. And I don't have a Bauble in my graveyard to refuel. I'm probably just dead to the Wishclaw. Pass the turn. They activate Wishclaw Talisman. I go to 1 life. Violent Outburst for lethal. That's a sweet one. I like that. That is a really sweet play. Unfortunately, though, we're 1 in 3. Let's see if we can just win the last one and get 50 play points back. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Round number 5, we're on the play. Sure, keep... Bauble. Strand. Let's look at the top of their deck. Subtlety. Okay, so we're likely facing Living End again, which is a nightmare. Thoughtseize. I guess it could be like Merfolk or something, but more likely to be Living End. Force pitching Force. Okay. We drew another copy of Underworld Breach. Not really what we needed here. Let's bobble them. And it is, in fact, Living End a second time. I'm probably going to cry myself to sleep tonight. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine eventually. Jeez. Draw. Pass the turn. There's the Riverwinder. Botanical Sanctum. Joke's on you, my hand is all the same cards. They take a Twiddle. Okay. They have 3 cards in hand and one of them is a Subtlety. Use this Polluted Delta, we'll grab the Steam Vents. We could, in theory, think about trying to use Breach for like double Bobble or something along those lines. I don't think it's worth playing Breach for 1 Bobble, so I'm just going to pass. They cycle Curator of Mysteries. And a Riverwinder, that's scary. Up to 4 cards now, they have land 3. Is this a Shardless Agent? Not yet. Could be a Violent Outburst, though. And it is. For some reason, they cast it in my upkeep and not my draw step, but whatever makes them happy. Pretty sure I'm just dead here. Draw for turn. It's Lotus Field, so I can play Lotus Field, Breach, Twiddle. I have nothing to pay off. So if I had a Consider in here or another really Gaze, I could try to win. But based on what we have, it just doesn't matter. And they have 10, 17 damage on board. They got me. I guess in theory I could Bobble, trying to draw into exactly a Twiddle to tap 1 creature and then hope to untap and draw into another hit. So that was not it. We would have died anyway. Okay. Bring back the ley lines. Get the baubles out of here. Cut Considers. Let's go. On the play. No ley line. Do we keep this anyway? Sure, why not? Leyline of the Void, huh? Little bit annoying. Flotsies. I do have bounce spells, but they're both located in my sideboard, which means I have to wish for them. I think we just take... They have double Cascade. Take the 1 mana cycler and hope that they get mana screwed. Draw for turn. Pass. They draw into another Curator of Mysteries. That is what we call the Thoughtseize bug 100% of the time. That's how it works. Riverwinder. They find land number 2. I'll be crying myself to sleep in no time. We're almost there. They just need to find land 3. I'm a million years away from winning. Consider. Let's bin that. Pass the turn. So they did not find land 3, but they do still have a Waker of Waves that they can use. Draw for turn. Lotus Field, okay, that's decent. Play the Wish. We will attempt to bounce this ley line. The ley line has been bounced, okay. So you're saying there's a chance. They use the Waker of Waves. And they have found land number 3, so I don't think I'm going to be able to win this one. I guess, in theory, if I otherworldly gaze into, like, Underworld Breach plus Perfects, it's possible. Otherworldly gaze. Alright, it's theoretically possible if I draw exactly Underworld Breach return. Draw. I think that's not good enough. Consider. Put it to the graveyard. Wishclaw. That's all she wrote. So we went 1-4. This week has been terrible results-wise for me. I realized that I threw that game number 1 versus Izzet Murktide. That's my own fault. No excuses here. So regarding the deck list, while it was super cool to win with Death Shadow, I felt like the loss of some of the sideboard options actually hurt quite a bit. And I don't know if those sideboard slots were really worth it. We never even saw Leyline Binding, and then we made our deck worse by having Thoughtseize in it, so I just died a lot faster in a lot of the games. That was certainly noticeable. So in general, I'd probably prefer a more stock version of Lotus Breach. That said, I don't want to blame my losses tonight on these cards. I think a lot of it was just A, me being very bad at Magic, and 2, or I guess I should say B if I went with A, right? But B, some pretty bad matchups. I mean, we had Living End twice, which I can probably consider to be the worst matchup for the deck. The Black-Red Scam deck, or Black-Red Midrange, whatever you'd like to call it, that deck's also a nightmare. I mean, Necromentia, Magus of the Moon, Dothy Voidwalker, like that deck's awful for us. On top of Grief, Thoughtseize, everything else. So this was a tough one tonight. Certainly not an easy league. That's what I've got. I hope you at least found part of this video amusing, even though the results were terrible. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. See ya. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.